Hey, superstars, Polly here. So this is going to be such a fun topic. I had just got this download this morning as I was out on a hike, and I was just thinking about like doing epic shit. So I was invited just a couple of days ago to hike Mount Whitney, the highest mountain in the United States. And at first I was like, yeah, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, 14,000, it's 14 something thousand feet. So it's a 12-hour day, easily, a lot of high altitude. Anyway, you can picture, not your worst nightmare, but like picture, like it's major. And I actually had been talking to a friend, talking to Samantha, my podcast co host, about hiking Mount Whitney. I was like, oh, we should do the PCT and do that. And it was like, da da da, and another year went by and we haven't done it. And so when this friend invited me, I was like, oh, that sounds scary because I haven't been training. And then I was like, that sounds fucking epic. And I was like, I'm doing that. Right? And so I say that I'm actually wearing this shirt is not one of the last, I was going to wear, I have an Iron Man shirt, these medals. There's some epic shit that I did up in these medals, behind these medals. I don't have these here like as a, badge of, oh, look how great I am. But like that stuff reminds me of some crazy ass shit I did, in the trainings and in the races themselves. It was awesome, right? And not all epic shit is movement, but this was Trans Rocky, so 6 days, 120 miles. Yes, 20,000 feet elevation. It was probably at like I think 8 to 12,000 feet on average. It was major. It was epic. It was in Colorado. My favorite. It was lovely. So what I want to share with you today is something fun. Is like, of all that said, little tangents there, but like that's the energy that I'm pulling from today. It was like I'm out on this hike and I'm like, do epic shit, people. Like, and I was like, what if we had an epic list, and maybe we do like that order that I had out with the universe. Like, God, I want to do Mount Whitney, right? And then bing, like here, because it's a lottery thing. You get like a ticket to go, and I hadn't been putting my name in or anything like that, but my friend did, and he's like, hey, somebody got hurt. You want to come? And I was like, that sounds epic. So what if there's like equal parts playful and powerful if we create an epic list? Like, have it, So, like, what if you create an epic list for your life, like your whole life? Now, I can tell you, like, I've got a bucket list. I have a bucket list, and then I have like the most likely list. Like my 90-day goals, and all this stuff. Like last night in the Come Alive program, we were creating. I mean, like everybody was creating, like, oh, by December I want this, and next year I want this, and we were like all fired up, right? Like, because it's like you're coming alive with these things that you want to have, and they feel like this one guy was like, oh, I want this thing like out in 10 years, and it was like had so little energy for her. She's like, wouldn't it be nice in 10 years when you're dead? No, I'm kidding. When it's like someday, like 10 years feels forever to the mind, right? Like whatever, right? And I was like, what if you had that next year, right? Not creating her epic list, but like just bringing that in. And we worked her in from 10 years to 5 years. I was like, dude, I could think you could so have that next year, right? And she was like, whoa, right? And she came alive. Like, what if I did that? So, I'm just not talking about the logical goals, right? Okay, we all got those, right? I get it. And those are your safe bets. You already know how to achieve those, okay? You've got practices and habits and all that stuff. But I'm talking about the stuff that feels wildly imaginative. It's the stuff that lights you up. And you're like, whoa, that would be super cool. This is the stuff that makes you say, like, that would be epic, right? And you know what that is. That's for you, right? And so what do I mean by epic? So first, it doesn't have to be expensive, right? Or over the top, right? I want to give you a couple of over the top fun examples just because I think they're fun. But epic can be about creativity. It can be about connection. It's choosing to design. It can be choosing to design your life that feels bigger than the ordinary, right? Be creative, be playful. So I have a friend, Jen, I love you so much. She threw this epic birthday party for her son, and it was like everybody had a role and a name, and we had these little cards of like who we were and how we were to talk, and just whatever. And I think we had little badges. It was just like this little birthday party was pretty epic, and I know like there's some people that go like to the nines, but it just was creativity, right? So she co-created this magical evening, and it didn't cost a lot of money, right? It was creativity, it was intuition, intention, and a willingness to play. That can be epic, right? I also had a friend I was thinking about like ideas for epic. It's like I have a friend who created Just came off this summer. He called it the summer of yay. Summer of yay, right? And then he decided like summer, the wife and the son both have, off. She's a teacher, so they have like the whole summer off, right? And they just didn't want to like happen to them. Like, oh, just another summer, like turn the page, right? They were going to make it epic. So they're like, we're going to create yay moments, right? Little bursts of joy and small adventures and just spontaneous fun. And they were deliberate. They're like, they came up actually with like a game about it. Like, we're going to have, I think it was like 10 parties and we're going to meet 20 new people and da da da. And then it grew. And then they had more than they actually started their year, and they had a yaycation. They started the summer off with a 2-week yaycation, right? So that was them choosing what epic was for them. And I remember I had a birthday party. I don't remember what year birth it was. Doesn't matter. And I enrolled my boyfriend at the time. Let's throw a pirate scavenger party. And everybody had to come in costume. And we sent them invitations that were totally our, piratey. And we freaking totally transformed the house. Like we built a pirate ship out the front of the house. And all the walls had what do you call it, bamboo or whatever it's called, and like the drinks were a certain way, and then they sent them off on a scavenger hunt, and it was just, and we talked about that for years, right? It didn't take, it cost something, but it didn't cost a lot of money, and it was just like daring to imagine what we could create and just live out loud, and it was like, frick yeah. And this epic of this Mount Whitney, it's not going to cost that much, but is it scary? Yeah, sometimes epic is scary too, right? So, what would epic feel like for you? And that's what I want you to tap into, right? Those are just some examples. Epic is going to be totally your decision, your choice, your feelings, what comes up for you, right? Sorry, I had a phone thing going on there, so I had to deal with that. So here's the heart of epic. It's a feeling state. Like, the difference between a bucket list and an epic list, right? When I say vacation or yaycation, right? So I want you to imagine for a moment, for you, what if one of your epic dreams came true tomorrow? Like, what would be epic? Okay, got it. All right. How would you feel? What would it feel inside your body? Is it inspiring? Is it deeply satisfying? Is it like you feel playful, you feel joyful, or like, I can't believe this, I can't believe this is happening kind of moment? Like, you decide, or it's just like deep love or something, for some people it could be like completing with a grief with a loved one, like having communication with a loved one would feel like epic because like they got to stay in touch with them. I don't know, that just came to me, right? So when you allow yourself to use your imagination to feel epic in your body, you start aligning with, what it is right now, number one. So like, that's pretty epic, right? And your body doesn't know the difference between if it's really happening or if you're imagining it. It's a frequency, right? So like this morning I was like thinking of epic stuff, just sharing this with you. I'm like thinking of all these epic things. Like that's the doorway to more epic, right? So like creating this list. So let's talk about creating your list. So here's something you can take on. Take the time, sit down, create your epic list. Write down all the wild, the magical, the like soul stretching experiences you'd love to have. Like what, like think of the feelings that you want to have, like, whoa, or just like, feelings, or, I'll share mine with you, but just don't filter it. Just like let it flow. Like, wow, that's pretty epic. Like, oh my God, like if money and time and like connection to the people you want to meet, whatever, is like, nothing's impossible. Nothing's off the list. Like it's the universe, right? Like it could do anything. It could do some pretty wild ass stuff. So write it in a notebook, write it in a journal, type it in your computer, put it in your phone, or you can go bigger, make a dream board out of it. You can add pictures, post it somewhere, maybe put it on your wall, look at it all the time, if that feels good for you. Or if it feels better, just like write it down once and like placing an order with the universe, and like the cosmic waitress has your order. Trust that it's heard and then let it go, right? The point is to imagine it and then to choose it and like want to engage with it. Like, wow, damn, that feels really good. So let me give you a couple of examples to get you started. So I want to, like meeting some of my favorite people on the planet. So like the Dalai Lama, Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, just to name a few, right? Like that would be super cool. Like sitting with the Dalai Lama, that'd be freaking epic. And I thought of something like, I love to travel, but like there's this ticket you can get that's like flying around the world, right? Like it can go spot to spot to spot. You don't have to do it like in a day, but just like flying around the world, first class, like premium. Like that would be pretty epic. Going to like my favorite spots. There's this ship, this like cruise ship that's called, I think it's called the World, right? Like the name on the back of the ship. I've seen it before in Copenhagen, and it's the World, and it's all these condos, these beautiful, like each one costs like millions of dollars for these people to own. And then the ship, the World, like it travels around the world, different ports. In the summer it's here, in the winter it's there, whatever. And you can like fly in, get into your cabin, that you own or whatever, and then like take it for like a couple months, couple weeks, the weekend, whatever you want. I'm like, what if I had access to the world and I wanted to go to, some places in the Mediterranean that I wanted to go see? That would be freaking epic. Or in Iceland, or anywhere, Thailand, all sorts of amazing places. But, spending 3 months on the ship of the world, I'd be down for that. And then I was like, I don't really have a lot of like star stuff. Like I don't know a lot of the current stars, but like going to a cool Hollywood style party, with like some of my favorite female actresses. I was thinking like Jodie Foster. I just saw her in a movie recently. I was like, love her. Would love to just have a, adult beverage with Jodie and like Susan Sarandon or Helen Mirren. Pink, like hang out with Pink backstage. Like, and there's some musicians I'd love to hang out with. Those would be epic, right? And just like write it down. Thank you, universe. That's what lights me up. So what about you? Let's like live open to the epicness, right? Live open to this, like this is like for us to create, right? You've written your epic list, and your job isn't to figure out all the hows, right? It's not like, oh, like to-do list, like the bucket list, I'll save for this, or, plan for this or whatever. But like, keep your heart open, right? Keep your heart open, keep your mind open, and your curiosity alive, like a child, like imagination, like creativity, right? And if there's like nudges, or if you get an invitation, little, breadcrumbs take you somewhere, little opportunities pop up. Sometimes I tell you, epic comes in sideways, like this opportunity to go to Mount Whitney that I did not see coming in 2 weeks. I would have been training for months for this, like doing all this stuff, and like, wow, like I avoided all that training. I'm going to go do it anyway. And here it is, right? Like, just be open. In a chance conversation, my friend's like, hey, we got an extra spot. I was like, hey, let's do that. That sounds epic, right? So, in a chance conversation, you could say yes when you almost said no to the thing that scares you, maybe, but secretly lights you up. So when you declare and you create your epic list, you've basically sent the universe a message like, I'm open. Surprise me. Surprise and delight me. Thank you very much, right? So here's my invitation. Get a journal, get your notebook out, get your phone out, get your computer out, whatever, I don't care. Get a big sheet of paper, make it pretty, make it colorful, and start your epic list today. All right? Like set yourself down, write like with a playful bowl about the impossible, the why not, right? And would you like to make it visual? Okay, great. Create a dream board, create a dream book. Would you like to keep it private? Okay. And while it's tucked away, either way, declare it. Like, okay, thank you, universe. Because the universe is listening, always listening. I think we have lots of angels and guides out there that are creating all of this for us, right? They can't wait to take our order. And Epic has a funny way of finding the people who expect it, right? So choose it. So tell me, what would be the top of your Epic list? I can't wait to find out.